I've had enough. We're getting a divorce. You stole the $1,500 I've been sending, didn't you?
Taylor, my husband erupted in anger as soon as he came home from work. Confused and unable to grasp what was happening, I watched as Taylor, his face flushed with rage, continued accusingly.
I just got a call from Walter. You haven't been sending them any monthly allowances and you didn't even celebrate your new baby. All this time, you've been using the money I gave you for whatever you pleased, haven't you?
Of course, I had been sending monthly allowances to Walter and his family. In fact, I had just given them a gift for their newborn today. Yet, how could he say we hadn't received it? I did give it to them properly.
Don't lie to me.
No matter how much I denied it, Taylor wouldn't listen to my words.
Listen, from now on, I'm not giving you any more money for living expenses. I'll forgive you only if you take a baby shower, gift to Walter and his family. If you don't, I'm fine with us getting a divorce.
Fine, let's get divorced then.
What?
Ignoring Taylor's surprise, I left the house. I had been working part-time at a supermarket, struggling to support our tight family budget. Despite managing the household finances and even sending money to Walter's family, being treated like a thief was unbearable. I couldn't continue with someone like Taylor, who wouldn't listen and only blamed me. And as for Walter and his family, who effortlessly lied and painted me as the villain, I decided to cut ties with them too. I'm Michelle, 52 years old. I work part-time at a supermarket. I got married at 22 and soon had a child. My husband Taylor works in sales for a beverage company and always comes home late. So all the household chores and childcare were my responsibility. While my friends were out having fun, my days were filled with childcare and housework. There were days when it almost broke my spirit, but I persevered, reminding myself that it was the life I had chosen. The relentless days of housework and childcare ended when our son Walter went to college. He attended a local university and moved out for his studies and later for a job, allowing me some respite. During this time, Walter told us he wanted to marry a woman he met. Feeling nostalgic that he had grown up so fast, we arranged to meet her at our home. On the day of the family meeting, the woman he brought home was Anastasia. She was bright and always laughing. Walter was smiling throughout. I was genuinely happy that Walter had found such a wonderful person. Both Taylor and I supported Walter's marriage and they got engaged and married without any issues. Half a year after their wedding, on a day when both Taylor and I were relaxing at home, Walter and Anastasia came over.
Dad, I have a favor to ask. Can you give us a monthly allowance? What brings this on all of a sudden?
Stunned, Taylor and I opened our eyes wide at Walter and Anastasia, who looked apologetic as soon as they entered.
Actually, we are thinking of starting infertility treatments, but we are short on money. Infertility treatments? Is that really necessary? These days, many people are doing it. We want to start a family soon.
I understood where Walter and Anastasia were coming from, but they had only been married for half a year. It seemed too soon. People are having kids even in their mid-30s. These days, Anastasia, you're only 30, so I don't think you need to worry so much.
What if I can't get pregnant? You had kids early, so you can't understand how I feel being childless at 30.
Anastasia suddenly raised her voice. Surprised by her outburst, I listened as Walter also nodded and spoke up.
That's right. Mom doesn't understand Anastasia's feelings. We're anxious, so we want to start the treatments as soon as possible. Dad, you agree, right? You want to see your grandchildren, don't you? Yeah, I understand. We'll help as much as we can. Thank you.
Taylor nodded in agreement with Walter. If Taylor was fine with it, then it wasn't for me to say otherwise. But then Taylor said something shocking.
Then take $1,500 out of our living expenses each month and give it to Walter.
What? From our living expenses? That's impossible. Taylor gives me $1,000 every month. From that, I pay the mortgage and Taylor's car loan along with other living expenses. $1,500 for an allowance was never enough in the first place, but Taylor glared at me.
What? Haven't you been saving any of the leftover living expenses? You didn't spend it all, did you?
That's not it, but with the loan repayments and everything, there's no room for extra.
No room? Managing the household is your job. You're useless. Always wasting money. That's why we have none. I won't pay any more than this.
Taylor refused to listen and went back to his room. It was unbelievable. Even the $1,000 a month was tough without being frugal. And now he expected me to give an allowance from our savings? However, once Taylor decides something, he won't listen to anyone. Stunned, I watched as Walter stood up glancing at me.
Then, Mom, please take care of it?
Saying this with a mischievous smile, the two of them left our house. But what could I do? I started a part-time job at a local supermarket. Every day was a struggle with the new job, but I worked hard to make ends meet for the living expenses and the allowance for Walter and his family. I even added money from my earnings to just barely manage both. Yet the stress kept building as Taylor came home drunk almost daily, claiming it was for socializing. If only he saved that money, life would be easier, but bringing it up only led to arguments. I had no choice but to manage without relying on Taylor. Half a year later, by chance at work, I ran into Walter's childhood friend Sophia.
Michelle, long time no see. Is that you, Sophia? How have you been?
Exchanging greetings, Sophia smiled.
By the way, Walter is doing amazing, right? He got a good job.
What, Walter? He's just at S Corporation, nothing extraordinary.
Really? I thought he was earning well since he went on several overseas trips recently.
Overseas trips? Confused, I watched as Sophia pulled out her mobile phone.
Here, I saw these photos on social media and was so envious.
The photos Sophia showed me were from a resort hotel abroad, among many other pictures indicating travel to several countries over the past few months. It didn't make sense. They said they needed money for infertility treatments, but how could they afford overseas trips? Determined to uncover the truth, I headed to Walter's house.
Is the social media account Walter's? Why have you been going on overseas trip? Where did the money come from?
Walter and his family looked awkwardly at each other.
We won it in a lottery. We entered a contest never thinking we would actually win.
Yeah. Anastasia is just really lucky.
Really? Winning that many times doesn't sound right.
It's true, just a coincidence.
Walter and his family were clearly flustered. I couldn't help but think, were they using the monthly allowance for these trips?
So, how's the infertility treatment going?
Oh, yeah, it's going well. Your help has been a lifesaver.
Which clinic are you going to?
The M clinic near the station?
They couldn't give me clear details about the treatment. Normally, there are subsidies and support for infertility treatments. Was $1,500 a month really necessary? It was hard to imagine any treatment costing that much. My doubts about Walter and his family only deepened. About a year later, Walter and his family had their long-awaited first child, a beautiful baby girl. Taylor and I were overjoyed. However, Taylor was too busy with work to visit the hospital, so I was the one to deliver the baby shower gift. I was left to decide on the baby shower gift, so after much thought, I chose a gift card. Thinking it would be useful for them with all the upcoming expenses, I felt a gift card would be the most practical choice. When I arrived at the hospital, Walter was happily holding the baby.
Walter, Anastasia, this is a little something for the baby shower.
Thanks. Is this a gift card? How much?
$30,000. I hope it helps a bit with the child-rearing expenses.
$30,000?
Their faces clouded over when I mentioned the amount. Is something wrong?
No, nothing.
Their sudden cold attitude puzzled me, but I had to leave for my part-time job. Wondering if I had said something wrong, I headed off to work. Returning home, I found Taylor unusually already there, and he immediately started shouting.
Didn't you go to give the baby shower gift today?
Yes, I did. Don't lie. I couldn't understand why Taylor was so angry until he, red-faced, accused me.
I just got a call from Walter. You didn't give them the baby shower gift, and you haven't been increasing their monthly allowance. You've been spending the money I gave you however you want.
What are you talking about? I did give it to them.
I'm disappointed in you. Stealing from Walter's family? They were crying, saying how stressed they were because they couldn't afford the infertility treatment. Aren't you ashamed as a parent?
But I have been giving them the money. Taylor wouldn't believe me, sighing at my words.
Listen, I'm not giving you any more money for living expenses. I'll forgive you only if you take the baby shower gift to Walter. Use your own money, got it?
Taylor's words made me think clearly. Why does he only believe Walter? Fed up with Taylor's self-righteous condescending attitude and Walter's family lying and trying to discredit me, I made up my mind. Fine, I'll leave.
Leave?
Yes, you don't have to forgive me. Taylor was shaking with anger.
Do you realize what you're saying? I could divorce you.
Okay, let's get divorced. Taking the opportunity of Taylor's permission for a divorce, I left the house. 2 weeks after leaving, I kept getting calls from Taylor after work. Just as I was about to block his number, I accidentally answered his call. Hello? What do you need? Please speak through the lawyer about the divorce.
Wait, Michelle, I need to talk to you.
No, thank you. I was about to hang up, anticipating a hassle, but Taylor sounded panicked on the phone.
Look, I just got all these bills for gas and stuff, and I can't pay. I didn't expect them to be so high.
That's tough.
Don't be so cold. Who would think just gas, electricity, and water would be worth $300? I've already spent all my salary and savings this month.
I was speechless. Utility bills over $300 aren't uncommon. With a house and daily hot showers, it's easy to exceed that amount. Besides, he never listened when I talked about saving. He would just let the water run.
Now I get laughed at work for saying it's overcharging, and I still have loans to repay. How did you manage all this?
That's why I was working. Whatever was short, I paid.
I had no idea you were doing that.
I had told Taylor about my part-time job, but he probably thought I was earning money for myself.
If only you had told me.
I did, but you never listened. Don't contact me anymore. I have no intention of being involved with you. I didn't want to hear Taylor's voice anymore and tried to end the call, but he desperately tried to stop me.
Wait. I'll listen this time. I want to talk in person. Can we talk at home?
No, I don't want to.
Don't say that. I'm reflecting on my actions. I should have listened to you more about Walter's baby shower gift too. I want to talk with Walter and you together.
I would rather not. It's too much trouble to go to the house after work. I said this, rotating my tired shoulders. As I thought about heading home, exiting through the employee exit, there was Taylor waiting for me.
I thought you would say that, so I came to pick you up from work.
Sighing at Taylor's words, I realized I had no choice but to go to the house. When I arrived, Walter and his family, looking a bit flustered, were there.
Mom, it's been a while.
Ignoring Walter's words, I took a seat. So, what's this meeting about? I want to go home soon.
Don't be like that. It's about the allowances for Walter and his family. Michelle, you said you sent them, right?
Yes, I definitely sent them. Walter and his family raised their voices at this.
No, that's a lie. We really didn't receive anything.
Can you still say that after seeing this? I pulled out the transaction records from my bag, showing clear evidence of transfer to Walter's account.
This is... Walter? What's this about?
Ignoring Walter's stammering, I took out an envelope from my bag. It contained detailed records of Walter's activities over the past 6 months. Walter, you were traveling abroad. You weren't undergoing infertility treatments at all, were you? You just wanted money for fun, right?
What is this?
It's an investigation report from a private investigator. Over the past 6 months, you have traveled 4 times domestically and internationally. Seems like you have plenty of money. Walter and his family started sweating, while Taylor's face turned red.
You deceived me, scamming your own parents? Shame on you. Give back the baby shower gift. We don't have that money anymore. We were short on cash.
Walter, realizing he couldn't justify his actions, started to get angry.
We overspent and struggled with repayments. The baby shower gift was only $30,000 only, not enough, so we pretended not to receive anything from Mom to get more. I'll never deal with you again. Don't contact me even if you struggle financially with child rearing. Just a little lie, and you make such a fuss. We're family. This shouldn't be a big deal.
I was appalled at Walter's reasoning. Didn't he know that lying for money even in a family is fraud?
We have plans. We want to build a house. We're family, so forgive us this much. No way. You're disowned.
Wait, please. Yes, Walter did wrong. I'll speak sternly to him. Please forgive us.
Anastasia pleaded, but Walter confronted her.
Why are you blaming me? It was all your idea.
What? Don't make things up.
You said we could get money by claiming it was for infertility treatments.
As Walter and his wife started arguing, Taylor clenched his fist.
Enough. Both of you are to blame. Never step foot on our property again.
Taylor was visibly furious, probably expecting ongoing financial support. Walter and his family could only hang their heads in silence.
I was wrong. I should have trusted you. I'm sorry. Can we start over?
Taylor turned to me apologizing. I had never been apologized to by Taylor in our entire marriage. Maybe the old me would have forgiven him just for these words, but now my feelings for Taylor had completely cooled. No matter how many times you apologize, I won't come back. I've already filed for divorce. We're strangers now.
Don't say that. Life's been hard without you. Look at this mess.
Indeed, the kitchen was littered with instant noodle containers and plastic bottles on the floor. It was a stark contrast to when I was there. So what? You want to bring me back to do the housework? I'm not a housekeeper.
That's not the point, but I can't manage without you, Michelle.
Taylor's words only prompted a sigh from me. It seems I had always been just a convenient woman around to do household chores. I can live without you. In fact, I can live better without you.
But you're just working part-time, right? Your income can't be that great. You'll struggle, won't you?
Living alone is much easier for me. I have my parents' home, so I don't need to worry about rent. Unfortunately, there is no benefit to living with you, so I'm leaving. As I stood up, Taylor grabbed my arm.
Wait, I'm really strapped for cash. Gas and water have been cut off. I can't survive.
Why are you out of money? What did you spend it on?
After you left, I thought $500 would be enough for living expenses, so I spent the rest on horse racing.
I was astonished at Taylor's admission. He thought he would save on living expenses without me and spent it all on his hobbies? I owe him no assistance. If it's that bad, why not ask Walter for help? You're still his parent.
We're broke too. Can't help. Exactly. We're broke because of the money we gave you for living expenses. Pay it. But we don't have the baby shower gift money anymore.
As Taylor and Walter started arguing, I sighed, feeling it was pointless to be involved with them. I left amidst their quarrel. I blocked Taylor and Walter's numbers, severing ties. Later, I heard Taylor, with his utilities cut off, moved in with Walter. Despite his previous outburst about disowning him, Taylor must have realized he couldn't live alone.
Fork over some money for food. You supported us before, now it's your turn.
Apparently, they fight daily about expenses. Taylor must have thought living with Walter would reduce his costs. Even after getting income, he didn't leave, eventually selling the family home. He squandered that money on horse racing too, a truly hopeless case. I'm glad I divorced him before his gambling addiction worsened. Anastasia must be the most troubled by this sudden cohabitation. Stuck with all the housework and dealing with Taylor's complaints, she's apparently venting a lot on social media. This was according to Walter's childhood friend Sophia. Anastasia, unable to divorce due to their young child and unable to work, is just accumulating stress. It's a pity, but she brought it on herself. After all, it was her idea to get money under the guise of infertility treatments. I'm currently at a hot spring. Ever since becoming single, the money I used to spend on living expenses and allowances has been piling up. I had always lived for my family. But now I'll spend my money and time for myself. Life is still long, and I intend to enjoy it to the fullest.